When is depravity not total? To maintain their doctrine of total depravity, Calvinists must reconcile it with the obvious fact that the most ungodly people are capable of some morally good thoughts and deeds. Nor can that fact be explained away by always attributing the ungodly's good deeds to selfish motives. Some unsaved soldiers have selflessly thrown themselves upon hand grenades to save their buddies' lives, an act of heroic compassion from which many Christians would shrink. Unquestionably, all human beings are capable of summoning a worldly altruism that can be widely admired. Acknowledging this natural goodness, a Calvinist author writes, "Total depravity does not mean that man is as evil as he could be. Yet how much more evil could one be than for every thought of one's heart to be only evil continually? And how can the so-called totally depraved have good thoughts and do good deeds?" Calvinists contradict themselves continually in this regard. For example, just before stating that it is impossible for him, the non-Christian, to do good, he is not even able to understand the good, Palmer has acknowledged what seems to be the opposite. Albert Schweitzer is an example of one who denied biblical Christianity, and yet who put to shame many an Orthodox Christian by his love and kindness. For other examples of relative good, consider the non-Christian who risks his life by dashing before an oncoming truck to rescue a child, a blaspheming pagan who helps a beggar, the Jew who donates his large estate for public recreation. Another Calvinist writer admits that even the most ungodly persons are able to love their children, sacrifice their own lives for the sake of family, sometimes even for strangers, are honest, good people who do good deeds. Even some Nazi guards who had spent the day in torturing and killing would come home in the evening and exhibit love and kindness to their wives and children. Multitudes of ungodly people at times exhibit much tenderness and honesty. Of many unsaved businessmen it can be said, "His word is his bond, even that he sweareth to his own hurt and changeth not." Psalm 15, verse 4. The Bible clearly teaches that the natural, unregenerated man can do good, and it offers many examples. We have already quoted from Romans chapter 2 how unsaved Gentiles recognize God's moral laws in their consciences, seek to obey them, have guilt when they don't, and even judge one another by that standard. Yes, it says, "There is none that doeth good, no, not one." Romans chapter 3, verse 12. But Jesus also said, "Ye do good to them which do good to you. Sinners also do even the same." Luke chapter 6, verse 33. We must take Scripture as a whole. Can a single verse be found in Scripture that clearly declares that man must be regenerated before he can believe the gospel? We are still waiting for Calvinists to point out even one. The examples both given in Scripture and seen in daily experience force us to conclude that the declaration that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually describes the general attitude of the heart, not what it must produce at every moment of every day. The propensity, but not the necessity. Similar statements that sound absolute, but are not, are found in praise of man. For example, God says of David that he walked before him with a perfect heart, and that he was a man after mine own heart, which shall fulfill all my will. 1 Kings chapter 15, verse 3. Acts chapter 13, verse 22, and so on. Yet David displeased God a number of times, even committing adultery and murder. In the same fashion, we must understand the statements about man's wickedness and sin as describing his natural tendency, but not his irresistible necessity.